Hello and welcome back to WarpTalk, SearchWarp.com's very own podcast. As you probably know, WarpTalk plans to interview members. We are well aware that this may be your first ever interview, or you may be feeling a little worried. So, to help those who have never done this before, here are a few pointers for you. Before you start to think about what you're going to say, you must make sure you've got the basics. Take notes of the time of the interview, time difference as well. And, if possible, listen to past shows to get a feel for the show. Don't ever go on a podcast or on radio without any notes. Unless you are unnaturally good at this sort of thing, or do it for a living, you could create big problems for yourself, and the dead silence of death could ensue. Thus, it is very important that you have good notes. I would advise you to bullet point all your notes, as long word for word notes are a waste of time. You will just get into the flow of the show and will only take the key points out of your notes. And anyway, if you sit and read from notes exactly, people will notice the robotic nature of the interview. Some people get all tense and overthink about what they are saying. Don't ask yourself how people will interpret what you say all the time. It is just what's going to get you in a muddle. Be yourself. Why do people keep saying this? Because we are interviewing you. We want to know you, not just the jazzed up on-air version of you, because that's boring. It is important to remember that when you call into WarpTalk, you are not live yet. You will have a while to get used to the interviewer, Ben or I, before the show starts. If you have any last-minute questions, here is the time to ask. And you may even get our accents and vice versa. Before you are on air, and after you successfully apply to the show, you will be given a rough idea of the questions we are going to ask, so you can work your notes around this. However, these questions form the foundation of the show, but they are only a guide. When the show starts and goes live, it is likely that the interviewer will make up a few questions on the spot. But don't worry, these will be based on what you have said. For example, if one of the questions we gave you was, "What do you think of your job?" and you answered, "I love my job," then the interviewer would go on and ask, "Great, it's always good to have a job you enjoy, but what is it about the job you enjoy?" Just as a way to build up your answer. You should also keep in mind that the show is about you, and the interviewer is just there to get the best out of you. You could edit the interviewer out. They are not important. The listeners hear us drone on enough about the same approximate questions every episode. It is you they want. It's you they're listening to. It's you that they actually tune into the show for. That's what they want to know. You should therefore do about 80% of the talking, and the interviewer should try and make you do the talking as opposed to us, because we're boring. When it comes to your business, if any, we want you to talk about it, but you should relate it to you always. For example, we don't want to say, "I have great stock in, we're having a clearance sale, visit 123 Street for the purposes of this podcast, France, to buy cut price top brand products." Boo. Boring. You go home, you automated ad machine. But if you say something like, "The business takes over so much of my life. If you want a social life, don't own a business. I mean, I've worked like a machine for the past month on this clearance sale to shift some stock. It's so tiring." That is fine, and we will give you the chance at the end to ask you how people can get in contact with you. If they are interested in your business, they can get in contact. So really, all you need to do is this. Be yourself. Not too much about your business. Be prepared. Try to be funny. Have fun. Bullet point what you want to say. Give full answers. One-word answers are a no-no. Relax. Pretend it's a normal conversation. Rehearse to a friend. Finally, we look forward to seeing you in WarpTalk. It'll be a blast. Thanks for listening.